What's up guys, PurePhoenix here, and today I'm going to be bringing you another episode of The Road to Diamond. And on this game I'll be playing as the blue Protoss up the top left corner, and my opponent will be the red Zerg XnXX spawning on the top right corner. This game will be played on Shakuras Plateau, and yeah, that's one of my favourite maps, maybe third favourite after Zelnaga Caverns and Metalopolis. Can't decide which one is my favourite out of those two. And yeah, so this is my first game playing as Protoss. I can play Protoss and Zerg both effectively, however my Terran is crap. That's why you will never see me play a video as Terran unless I go random, and I am unlucky enough to get that race. Now a pylon going down at PurePhoenix for 9 supply, so everything is pretty standard so far. And XnXX gets a gas at 9. Okay, so what he did there was a gas trick where you put down a gas at 10 supply, so you're at 9, then you get an extra drone, then you cancel the gas, which puts you at 11 harvesters, gives you a temporary economy boost. Some players choose to do it, others do not. It all comes down to preference really. So now players have to scout to find the locations of each other, and it looks like these two scouts are going to run into each other, and neither of which are going to find their enemy base. So now up to 13 supply for PurePhoenix. Gateway should be going down soon. There it is, goes down at 13 supply, and he'll continue to produce probes, and still not yet to see a spawning pool for the Zerg player XnXX. So we may in fact see a hatchery at 16, and yes, that drone's getting ready to put down the hatchery, give its life to get a new base. Also a gas going down now for PurePhoenix, myself, at 15 supply, which is again a standard opening, more economic than a 4-gate rush, but a bit standard if you're going for a 3-gate robo or more of an economic 4-gate build. And now I will discover that XnXX is not down the bottom left corner, therefore he must be up the top right, and I need to scout soon this location and discover his hatchery, which is going down. So the gateway's just finished for PurePhoenix, and now a Cybernetic core going down right next to it to have that wall in case Zerglings or something run up the ramp. I only wall in against Zerg players because it's not really much of a problem against Protoss or Terran, because they won't have anything early unless they 2-gate rush you as a Protoss or 2 or 3 racks rush as a Terran. So now the spawning pool is going down for XnXX. That hatchery is almost half completed, and he continues to drone up. So both players going for a standard late game opening. Yes, so I'm yet to discover XnXX's location. He has just discovered mine. Scouted pretty much everything I've got. I see that expansion, it's almost finished, and now I'm researching warp gate research and getting a zealot out to hold position there and prevent any future scouts from occurring. So gas now finishes for XnX. He'll put 3 drones on that shortly, and this expansion has just popped as well. So XnXX looking in a stronger position for maybe an economic build. I do have one more harvester at the moment, but he has to sacrifice those to get buildings, and he will be able to get some out. He's still yet to get a queen, which is interesting. You'd expect to see that queen come out early. He's still droning up. He's got to saturate that expansion. He did a small transfer of 4 drones, which is relatively standard. So that drone's now staying in the base. The zealot's going to come out and try to kill it, and now just sitting at 1 gateway still. Everything's fine, probing up and all of that good. Now PurePhoenix putting a proxy pylon in XnX's base. He probably has no idea that's there, because the probe, he thinks has stayed there the whole time, doesn't know the real truth, the real side to the story. And now this base is pretty much saturated for PurePhoenix. So are we going to see, yep, so 4 gateways now down for PurePhoenix, so we will see a 4-gate play with that pylon. It could be very effective, as XnXX has chosen to go for the later game option. He might not have enough units out in time. That's a Roach Warren about to complete for XnXX, so Roaches are a better option against Zealots and Stalkers alike. And since he's gone with that economic opening, God, that's hard to say. Since he's gone with that economic opening, he will be in a better position to get out a lot of units. He's got a queen at both bases now. He'll be able to continuously inject larvae and get out some roaches in order to prevent my 4-gate push. So now turning those gateways into warp gates, as the research has completed. These 2 will stay here just to prevent any lings or even scouts coming up the base, and now I'll begin warping units into XnX's base And the Harvesters tab, he's only in front of me about one still, so it really needs to be droning for a bit. However, he's gone with 3 Overlords now and getting 4 Roaches out. He doesn't have any units to defend. He's just got the Queen now. Stalker's choosing to focus the Queen, microing that Stalker back so that it doesn't lose any more health. And now some drones will be going down. This is the last thing XnXX needs, as he has gone for the economic option. He would hope that he would not lose a considerable amount of his Harvesters. And now these Roaches, there's 4 Roaches onto 4 Stalkers, and I'm not sure, now 3 on 3. Stalkers might just be able to come on top since these two are firing away free hit, and now more Stalkers being warped in at this proxy pylon. He's pulling drones to get that probe out of there and perhaps the pylon, and all of the Roaches have in fact gone down. He's continuing to morph them, but he's got them rallied over here, so they won't be attacking for a while. That probe lives on, puts down another proxy pylon on the low ground, and I'm just continuing to get free kills on these drones. However, these Roaches will overpower me shortly, and the economic option has paid off for XnXX as these Roaches go down, morphing in a couple of Zealots, but it's certainly going to be too late to to continue to harass this base. So now I really need to be putting down an expansion to catch up on economy. I went for the early game pressure option, which didn't work. Nice transfuse there, keeping that Queen alive, and the last Stalker does go down, and the pylon will follow it shortly. So yes, as the pylon is about to go down, I've thrown down an expansion of my natural and a pylon to warp in units to defend it. I've still got that pylon, which he may or may not know about. Yes, he does know about that. So now XnXX grabbing control of the 2 Zelnaga towers with Zerglings, which only cost 25 minerals, so it's a good option. And now he's moving out with a lot of Roaches. I do not have any units to defend this with. Throwing down now a 5th Gateway and a Twilight Council, so maybe a transition of it to a different tech, getting a sentry to put down that force field, and now I'll pull the Stalker and the Zealot out to help defend the base. Continuing to get, he needs to get that expansion back on track, XnXX, because he did lose a lot of drones when I put that pressure on, and he should be mining from the second gas as well if he wants to stick with the Roach option. And now this hatchery morphing into a lair, and my Twilight Council is completed. So we'll either see a Dark Shrine going down now, we will see some Dark Templars, and he doesn't, since he hasn't got that lair or an evolution chamber, he doesn't actually have any detection to close unity there, and he will scout that Dark Shrine rather easily. This Stalker's going to try to kill it to make sure it doesn't see it, but I think it's going to be too late. That Overlord does go down, however it doesn't supply block XnXX, as he's been producing Overlords the entire game. So yeah, this lair's almost morphed in, and then he will be able to get Overseers. So the DTs, while a smart option, might be a little too late, although most players don't, especially at this silver to gold level, don't get an Overseer unless they see cloaked units and realise that it's required. So now I'm just getting probes, saturating this expansion, which is what needs to be done, and XnXX is droning up to get that second base right on track, and now he's well and truly overtaken me on the Harvesters counter. Only 5 up, but he has had that extra base for a lot longer, and I'm still trying to saturate my expansion. So Dark Shrine almost completed. We've got about 15 seconds remaining on that one, and I've gathered a fair force of Gateway units, and XnXX hasn't got any Roaches since my push, because he has been getting his economy back on track. And now an infestation pit going down for XnXX. That'll either be to get some infestors or to unlock the hive tech, and maybe go into some Broodlords or something, but there's not much point getting hive tech, as the only thing you can get are Ultralisks, Broodlords, and the 3rd tier of Zerg upgrade from the evolution chamber, which he does not have. So we will be seeing some infestors. He's also researching burrow and tunneling claws, so we'll be able to maybe move some Roaches into my base without me knowing about it. I don't actually have detection, however 2 DTs are now on the field, and he still doesn't have an Overseer out, so this could be interesting. Now infestors are being made from the base up here. He's pulled a lot of drones now. So now these 2 expansions are probably getting to the stage where they're oversaturated, so we will need to see a 3rd go down for XnXX. His minerals are getting out of hand at the moment, and I'm just chucking down pylons to free up a lot of supply so I can get some Dark Templars in and maybe do some damage. DTs do take up a couple of supply, same as the Stalker, same as Zealots as well. And now a macro hatch going down for XnXX. I'm researching charge from PurePhoenix. I am PurePhoenix. So I'm researching charge from my Twilight Council, and he's also getting Roach. No, he's not getting Roach speed. He's getting quite sure what he's getting. Anyway, still continuing to get his infestors out. Oh, that's right, he's researching. So he's able to move his overlords and overseers faster, which if he does get an overseer out will be the end of my DT pressure. Now PurePhoenix moving out with these warp gate units. He's got the DTs in the middle so they won't be detected straight away if they were if they were on their own. DT slicing up those roaches. Couple of queens attack, he might get a fungal growth away, and there goes the fungal growth from the Phoenix, from the infested. The infested has very little health, and it looks like so he burrows those infestors, and now he's continuing to produce roaches, but those DTs have not been detected. I don't think he even knows they're there, because he's not producing an overseer at all. DT is getting multiple kills on these units. Now he's popping some infested Terrans from these burrowed infestors, but my gateway units are really having no problem dealing with it, and that overlord should have died a long time ago. And charge is almost completed for my zealots, which will put a lot of pressure on these drones, on these mineral line, and on the remaining third units if he can get the roaches infested out. He's continuing to get zerglings now because he really doesn't have. Well, he does have the minerals for other things, but I still don't think he knows about these DTs because he's made no effort. He's got the money to get an overseer, but he's made no effort to do so. And now I've thrown down a robotics bay somewhere there, robotics facility, sorry, to get an observer and hopefully kill off any burrowed roaches or burrowed infestors. And now he's desperately trying to throw down 5 spine crawlers, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it. These roaches will go down, and those DTs will have no problem slicing up those remaining spine crawlers. So one spine crawler goes down, all his defensive units go down. There's only one spine crawler left, and that should be a GG from XnXX, as there is not many things he can do now to get back in this game. Now targeting the infestation pit, and XnXX leaves the game without any sort of GG. So I think the transition to DTs was important. The 4-gate work didn't work. The 4-gate rush didn't work, so I had to throw down an expansion. And now I had some Archons. Zealot Archons also very effective against Terran and Zerg players. When the Zealots do have charge, they tank a lot of damage. So yeah, the DT transition was crucial. He never made an attempt to get overseers. I don't think he even knew that the DTs existed, although he should have been able to see a bit of a shimmering movement. But yeah, that's been my 3rd game at the Road to Diamond. I hope you've enjoyed this and learned a bit about it, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.